Hi, this is Catherine Rose. I'm with Board Game Geek here at SPIEL 2016. I'm sitting here with Tomasz Galkowski from Cube Factory of Ideas, and he's here to talk about their new game, Chromosome. So please, tell me about the game.
What about the game? So the story behind the game is that imagine this like frosty and wasteland somewhere in the middle of Antarctica, and this huge meteor coming from the sky. So it falls down, and there is alien microbes on it. So, so American government sets up the facility to examine those microbes. But something,
as you would.
Yeah, but something goes very bad. So the life-sustaining systems collapse and people start dying. So the last survivor, knowing what could happen if those microbes like escape from the station, turns on the self-destruction system. And there's 4 minutes left, and we unfortunately are those microbes.
And we want to survive.
And we want, and
take over the world.
We are actually like unaware of what's happening around. We just escaped the laboratory, and we will try to overcome each other, to fight each other. So each player will take on the role of an alien microbe. Each one of them is totally different. So what we have here is our station. This is like a setup for 3 players. We have our station over here. So players will use those tokens that actually are your microbes. These are like population tokens that you'll use during the game to fight, to move. And each player has its own board with all actions and the chromosome in the middle. So so what you're going to do during the game is pretty simple. Like the turn is pretty straightforward and pretty fast. You will make a movement and then take an action, or first take an action and then make a movement. So this is like pretty simple. Yeah, it's nice and simple and pretty fast.
Can you choose to not do one and do double of the other?
You can choose not to move, but you always have to take an action.
All right.
So this is the basic. And what can I take that?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So all those actions, they have their costs. So something you have to pay to actually take these actions. And this cost can be a gene, because this is actually the game about creating your chromosome out of different genes. You have a supply of genes over there. There are 4 different genes: fighting genes, telepathy genes, action genes, and structure genes. And all of them will help you to do a little bit different things. So during the game, you'll create your chromosome. You set it up as you want, whatever you want to do during the game.
What aspects does this chromosome have?
Yeah, so first of all, like to take any of those actions, you have to exhaust your genes. So each action has a cost of gene. For example, to take the spark action, you have to exhaust a yellow gene and you have to move it over here. To take a growth action, you have to exhaust yellow genes. Yeah? So this is like the first part of the cost of actions. So if you have more, you're able to do more, right? Because you can pay more for your actions. The other one is energy. Energy is very important in this game. Each token has 2 different sides. There's charged with energy side and discharged side. So during the game, you will pay energy by discharging your tokens on the board. So this is what you're going to do. So when you're taking those actions, like you can take them to put new tokens on the board. Oh yeah, we can just move them. So you can take actions to put new tokens on the board. You can take action to acquire new genes from the supply. So then you put them on your chromosome, so you can actually compose it however you want, however you need it to be. You can attack. Like attacking in this game is pretty straightforward. You will sum the total amount of tokens that you have when you're attacking, and you will compare it with the defending power, and then you'll add this the roll of this cool dice over here, and whoever has more is the winner. But there's also like a pretty cool thing about fighting in this game, where you have those fortune points that are over here, and when you're fighting with other player, all other players can use their points to force you to re-roll your dice.
Ah.
So
But they have
not
to
only
spend
you,
their fortune points.
they have to spend the fortune points, but they're very valuable. So it's not always you have to really think if it's worth doing, because at the end of the game they're worth points. So you don't want to. You have to like think.
You only want to do it when you actually need it.
You have to think if it's like worth doing. So this is how the game plays. So you move your microbes on the board, and there's also this like movement limitation, which are these pipes over here, which tell you how big the group of microbes has to be to enter this room.
So this one will need 3, or this one will need 2.
3, yeah. So this gives you another opportunity, another layer to the tactical aspect of the game, where you can actually hide behind rooms that are like unavailable for your opponents. So this is how the game goes. You make a move, you take an action, and it goes like that, one by one. And what's cool about this game is also that you have those special powers, right? Like every microbe is totally different. Like this one is good with fighting, this one is good with like growing, this one is good with manipulating something.
So they're all a little different.
They're all like a lot different. And what's cool is that in like many games, when you have like special powers, you already know what to do. Like if I have fighting faction, I will fight because that's what I'm good at. In Chromosome, we managed to actually change that rule a little bit because of that. Like if you want to fight but you don't have a fighting microbe, then you can still acquire a lot of fighting genes and be like really good in fighting. So this
surprising the others.
Yeah, surprising the others because they won't expect that, but this is something what you can do. So there's of course more. There's like the special radiation that will harm you, that you have to like, you know, pay attention to, that will also charge your microbes, but you don't want to be around because then you'll get like irradiation, which is harmful and it can cause you to lose. There's like event cards that will change rules for every round a little bit. So a lot of going on in the game. You have to pay attention to many different aspects of the game. It's very tactical, but it's very fast. It's like 30 to 60 minutes game.
That's nice.
And it's very like dynamic, like a lot of is going on. And it's totally different when you play with 2, which is like chess, where you really have to like
It's a very strategic game.
Yeah, it's very strategic. And it's different with 4, when it's like very intense and everyone is attacking everyone, and you really have to think what to do not to lose. And the winner of the game is whoever has the most points at the end. And you'll score points for your tokens on the board. You'll score points for killed tokens of your opponent. You'll also score points if you didn't use out all your fortune token. And then you will subtract your irradiation level. So this is like everything is like pretty, you have to really...
You have to think about not only one thing, you have to kind of spread your thought around.
Yeah,
not focus on one.
So this is Chromosome, and I think it's awesome. So definitely should check it out.
A nice 2 to 4 player, 30 to 60 minute game.
Yeah.
That is Chromosome from Cube Factory of Ideas.
Yeah.